Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we'll see Jared Goff and the NFC champion Los Angeles Rams as they take on Dak Prescott and the defending NFC East champs, the Dallas Cowboys. So with that, let's head over to the heart of Texas. Massive AT&T Stadium in Arlington. On the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D, as their guys will do battle with the Los Angeles Rams. I'm Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. Charles, good matchup here. A couple of playoff teams from a season ago.
And just think about how the NFL works, partner. 8 teams that made the playoffs the year before didn't make it last season. So there's always going to be parity in this league, and guys have to be ready to go. Just because you made it the year before doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get back again.
Greg Zuerlein now. He'll handle the honors to get us started. And we are underway from AT&T Stadium. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Cowboys take the field, and the man leading them, Dak Prescott, who's been remarkably consistent through his first 3 NFL seasons. 23, 22, and 22 touchdown passes, as he put together a 32-16 regular season record in those 3 years at the helm.
Let's go.
They run with Ezekiel Elliott, last year's NFL rushing leader. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Cowboy first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Here we go. 58, come on. All day, just like that. Just like that. 26.
On 2nd and 12, Prescott, and an alley to run. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 35.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him, and he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. They don't hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
On 2nd down now, it's Elliott. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming. The offensive starters now for the Cowboys.
It's so good to see big number 72 Travis Frederick back in a Cowboys uniform. Remember, he missed all of last season with Guillain-Barré syndrome. And prior to that, he'd been to the Pro Bowl 4 straight times at center. And his return, a huge boost to the offensive line. Better to have him in uniform than coaching.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A stop there on third. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
If I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I'd go right at them with another momentum play. Go quickly and attack them, because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on third down.
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today.
Now Elliott. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal. The defense here for the Rams.
All right, partner, turn the house lights down. Turn the spotlight on bright. There he is, the best defender in the NFL today. A 5-time Pro Bowler, 4-time first-team All-Pro. That's Aaron Donald, who led the NFL in sacks in 2018 with 20.5. He's also the reigning Defensive Player of the Year 2 years running. The only other players who win 2 consecutive, how about Lawrence Taylor and J.J. Watt? I'd say that's pretty good company.
A run for Tony Pollard, the Memphis product. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's 3rd and goal. Prescott. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
On now is Kai Forbath to try the field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Forbath will put this one through. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
Forbath now to kick it away after the made field goal. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So now the Rams will get their first opportunity with a football. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the guy out of California, the former Cal Bear, Jared Goff.
While in college, quarterback teams that improved their win total from 1 his freshman year to 5 his sophomore year to 8 his junior year. Love that type of improvement. Love that type of diligence.
Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 26. Out of the gun. Goff. He's got his target. It's the tight end, Tyler Higbee. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 15, and the Rams have a 1st down. These two teams, of course, met last year in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. And, a lot of people were calling that kind of a throwback game to the 70s of the old NFL. The Rams would get out to the 23-7 lead. Cowboys tried to make a late push, but the Rams would hold on for the 30-22 victory. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Goff. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. A shotgun snap for Goff. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Goff going to hand it to Gurley, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? Because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
3rd and long. It's gone. He gets it to Cooks. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Now it's Zerline to try the Ram field goal. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. Zerline, of course, last year had likely the iconic field goal of the season, booting that 57-yarder in the Superdome to send his squad to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you really hurt the Saints fans on that one, didn't you?
Sorry.
They didn't want to hear that at all. But this guy deserves his nicknames. Greg the Leg, Legatron, because the ball goes through the post at a heavy rate, 87% in 2018.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 15. They start on the ground with Elliott, and he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Watch the screen.
gun. It's Elliott. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up a third down. For Zeke, one of the first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his second rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. Lets it fly deep for Cobb. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Fielded at about the 28. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. CD, as the Rams come back out here, you know, we've got a few Jekyll and Hyde teams in the NFL this season. Cowboys come to mind, the Bears, Buccaneers, but maybe none more than these L.A. Rams. One in Arizona, their 5th straight over the Cards, moves them to 75 on the year. But just look at the last 2 games. Thoroughly dominated by the Ravens at home, then thoroughly dominate the Cardinals on the road. What gives with this team?
I don't know.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 37 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. A play fake to Gurley. Now gone. That's complete to his tight end, Higbee. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Goff. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. And that's complete to Cooks. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a 1st down.
Offense.
Now, those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side. So under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And this one is right down Broadway. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent, that we made them specialists.
Yeah, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Offense for the Cowboys working their way back out here. Charles, somebody has got to win the NFC East. It's like
really,
it's just up for grabs. The Cowboys right now, after that loss on Thanksgiving to Buffalo, they're 6-6, but they are in first place still in the division. Hard to believe.
It is hard to believe, but you're right. One of those two teams is going to win the division. We know that there's no wild card coming out of the East now. It's win or you're going home with everyone else. How about this? Dallas on Thanksgiving Day had a chance to create some distance, didn't they? They didn't get it done. Buffalo came in and whacked them. They finished now at Chicago, and I believe that's a Thursday nighter. And then they're home for the Rams, and then they're at Philly, and that could be the game that determines who wins the East, and finish up at home with Washington. They have not beaten good teams all year long. They'll have their chance now, because I'm going to count Chicago as a good team, and I'm counting the Rams as a good team. And in the Philadelphia game, we'll see how it all turns out. Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
What's tight? Tight end right.
To throw again on second down. Prescott, he'll try and run it. He'll have a first down past the 40. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Escaping. Oh, Prescott stripped. And now the Rams have got it. Going the other way. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. He tried to buy some time to the right. So, Charles, when a guy gets out of the pocket, what's the focus of the quarterback?
Most of them keep their eyes downfield. They want to try and make a play throwing the ball. Some of them, they want to tuck it and go. But when they scramble, in this case, as you said, to the right, you're cutting the field in half. So good defenses kind of converge in that spot, and they don't give you much territory to throw the ball. He had nowhere to go with it. Ends up getting the ball stripped.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Robert Woods, former USC man, the intended target. That'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
The throw once more on 2nd and 10. Goff. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. When you think about the 2 quarterbacks in this game, Goff and Prescott, and of course, Jared Goff, the first pick back in the 2016 class. Prescott, that same class, but he was in the 4th round, pick number 135. But Dak would take home Offensive Rookie of the Year honors. Fear not, though, for Jared Goff. He would recover, of course, and lead the Rams to Super Bowl 53 in that eventual loss to the Patriots. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. They run. It's Gurley. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the lead will increase to 6 now. It's 9-3. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
After the made field goal, Zerline back out there now to send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line. Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. His feet, what he's been able to do individually running the ball, it's kind of kept him in this game.
No doubt about it, because if he's not making the plays that we've seen, they are really getting blown out in this one. I don't think they have any chance at all. He's keeping them in striking distance, hoping to get some help from the defensive side of the ball so that maybe some of these plays can turn into plays that maybe put them in the lead.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Prescott urging his guys to go quickly. They need to get up and set. To try again after the sack. Prescott going to take a shot for Gallup. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Prescott. Going to take a shot for Gallup. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Rams going to get the football first here, and they look to build on their lead as the second half gets started. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. The third quarter starts with a run by Gurley. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Jalen Smith, who took a huge step forward last year, in on the tackle for Dallas.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Going to run the sweep here. This is Cup. That second down run, a big help as 7 yards leaves them with just a 3rd and 3 now.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
And able to find Higbee. It's complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A 3rd down gain of 19.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Here we go. 180. 54 miles. Man, I got you.
On first down, it's Gurley. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. So many questions about Todd Gurley in the offseason. How good is the knee? I mean, remember, he had a heavy workload the last couple of years, nearly 4,000 yards from scrimmage, 40 total touchdowns, but just 4 carries in the NFC Championship game, 10 in the Super Bowl. It's caught at the 10. Touchdown, L.A. Robert Woods, 44 yards. And the Rams tack on to their advantage. Well, they had gone run the previous play. Nice little setup. This time they go play action. Defense bites a bit, and they hit for a big play in the end zone.
So they sold it really well, didn't they? Because it's just what you described. They ran into the previous play, come back with the same action, and now they step back and throw it and get a big play for a touchdown. But what happens as a defensive back is your eyes have to go to the right place. You always hear Coach talk about, are your eyes in the right spot? Well, this time the eyes went to the play action. It froze their feet. They weren't moving, and he went on past them and caught the pass for a touchdown.
Goff now looks to throw, and he's got it. So the try for 2 successful, and that bumps their lead up even further. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line.
Let's go. Do it.
The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game, because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And not a blitzer, but still able to get there from a strong safety position.
Yeah, I think that was a great example of what they call football IQ. Recognizing he was open, had a chance, and went ahead and got to the quarterback.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter, as he'll kick it away for the second time.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game, because you can it's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Time to establish the run game here. Gurley. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Another carry now for Gurley. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Throwing on third. Gone. Open man, Higbee, the tight end. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. Fifth catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right, safety valve, throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
They go play action with Gurley. Now gone. That'll be caught by Cup. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Now whistles and a flag down. I think one of the Rams linemen might have moved. Now they nabbed the rookie there for the 5-yard penalty.
So much going through his head. You know it just has to be, right? All of his assignments and realizing every game he plays, one of the better players in the league will be opposite him.
They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. 3 quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. It's the Rams out in front here. They've got control of the football as well as we get set for the fourth quarter.
Line 20.
Let's go, D. Let's go. Hey, let's get there.
On 2nd and 11 now. Goff gets this into the hands of the tight end Higbee. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down. Well, the returns for the Cowboys on Leighton Vander Esch have been pretty good so far. You know, a lot of Cowboy Nation questioned when they took him number 19 overall a season ago instead of Calvin Ridley. But Leighton Vander Esch would get 140 tackles last year. Franchise rookie record for Dallas en route to a Pro Bowl appearance. On third down, they'll run it with Gurley. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. And Zerline's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
After the made field goal, Zerline back out there now to send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But listen, if something like that, there got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
It's a gain of 16 and the Dallas first down. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much for the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Man, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, they want to ride him down the stretch. He should have fresh legs.
Prescott to throw it. Flush to his right. And he's going to keep it here. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Makes it 3rd and 4.
Prescott now from the 50. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Intended for Jason Witten. Incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Now Prescott on 4th down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Clay Matthews adding another sack to his impressive NFL resume. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
You run.
On a jet sweep, they get this to Cooks. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
In today's NFL, most teams don't have as many goals for the game like we used to have where you checked off your boxes. But 0 turnovers, that's a universal. And while it won't likely cost them in this game, they're going to regret the fact that they coughed one up here.
Yeah, their first blemish. They had mistake-free football prior. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went 4-on-4, turned it over in their own territory. But the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach?
Under pressure, they got him again. Marching in for the sack, Michael Brockers.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And this is caught at the 20. And great yardage here all the way deep into Los Angeles territory. A big play here for Dallas. 64 yards. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. draw play. Elliott. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys get a bit closer.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film. But this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Kai Forbath on for the extra point. It's up. It's good. That'll make the scoreline 20-10. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again.
Quickly from Goff to Cup. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
Watch the slack. Watch the slack.
Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Goff with a kneel down here, and that should put a conclusion to this one.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is, because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Big D.
Post-game report, player stats.